Nouf AlDossari. Hearing about her story, hearing about her social media, hearing about your life. As a Niqabi woman, as an influencer, just the way you live in Saudi.
Thank you for having me. The reason why I started wearing it was because I was inspired by my own mother.
You lived most of your life in America, you said?
I did, yes. My family are very strong with keeping the culture, keep religion intact in us.
What are your goals with social media?
I'm like, let's start talking about mental health. Maybe I can help someone out there.
Quick fire questions. You've got 5 seconds to answer. Favorite food, favorite drink, favorite color. Oh, that's a nice one. Favorite place to visit. No, I love it. I love it. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Stump Station. Incredible guest today, Nouf AlDossari. Hopefully I said that right.
You did, yes.
Honestly, absolutely amazing to have you. This is going to be for everything. We got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything's going to happen here. So follow her incredible Instagram. The reason why I wanted to get her on is hearing about her story, hearing about her social media, hearing about your life, hearing about absolutely everything as a Niqabi woman, as an influencer, but also just the way you live in Saudi. And you're a very friendly person when we were chatting. So I'm so glad to have you onto the channel, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
No, honestly, thank you for your time. It means a lot, and I get it. You're a very busy woman, which we're going to get into later.
Yes.
I know it's Ramadan during this time, and it's, as we know, Ramadan's crazy busy.
Yes, it is.
With family, with work, you think, oh, we got more time, but it's so close together, and it's a lot.
It's true, yeah. No time.
Just for anyone that doesn't know you, how would you describe yourself in as little words as possible?
Alrighty, so Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello, my name is Nouf AlDossari. I'm a content creator, a videographer, and an explorer.
I love it, and because on your name on Instagram it says the Saudi Explorer, right?
It is, yes.
So do you like to explore Saudi a lot and see different areas?
Well, not just Saudi. I actually like to experiment and explore with a lot of things. I like to explore with culture, with food, languages. So it's more than just discovering Saudi and Saudi itself.
And what is some things that you've experienced over the past, say, 3 years that you're like, that was a great experience and people should try?
The Desi culture.
Really?
Yeah, I've been surrounded with a lot of Pakistani and Indian friends, and I grew to liking how their culture was with the food, with the clothing, with the colors and everything.
It's incredible.
So I was teaching myself on how to learn their language, the food, and I attended 2 of my best friends' wedding, and it was like a really beautiful experience in the last 3 years.
I agree. Like one of my best friends back home, what's crazy is I knew about Islam from a very young age because she's one of my best friends. When we went to prom together just as friends at 16. She's a Pakistani woman, Muslim. She's like my best friend to this day, and you see her dress and it was incredible because it's just showing the culture, you know. So learning about that at a young age was absolutely amazing.
That's wonderful.
It's really cool to experience. I do agree.
Yes.
Yourself, what made you get into content to begin with?
Well, it wasn't like a dream. It didn't start as that. I had a baking business when I was in college.
Okay,
that was how it started, yeah. And I usually film my day-to-day when I go out and everything. And I had a really good friend of mine saying, why don't you start YouTube? You know, you're always taking pictures, but you never post them. You never put something out there. I'm like, I like to keep things to myself. And then later on, as I see a lot of people transitioning into social media, I'm like, you know what, why not? Let's start. So I uploaded my first video on YouTube, and it was like a farm experience.
Okay.
Experiencing goat yoga for the first time.
That's definitely a good first video.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what, let's just go at it. And I didn't know any editing. I didn't know how to edit. It was just, let's just go straight into it.
Yeah.
And then I started moving to Saudi Arabia, and I didn't know anyone, no one, only my family. And I wanted to get to know people. So I'm like, you know what, let's just start an Instagram page. And I started posting about Riyadh, coffee shops that I visited. And then I took it further into talking about mental health because I wanted to get some help. So I'm like, let's start talking about mental health. Maybe I can help someone out there. And it felt good. It felt nice being able to help people. I didn't know that I could create such a good impact on social media. And we just kept growing after that with mental health, sharing my story, visiting restaurants, cafes, Saudi, teaching people about my Saudi culture, what we do for celebrations or anything like that, and traditions. And it's going good.
And I think that's an amazing story about mental health and about what you went through and telling that story.
Yes.
Because like I'm a life coach, so I do fitness and life coaching, and something that is it's a big thing no one speaks about. People go through a lot of struggles, and especially someone on social media like yourself, where it's like, let's be honest, it's the highlights, it's the great things, it's the good things, but we don't highlight the struggles and the hard things. So just you talking about mental health in general is just building that awareness for, you know, other Saudi women that maybe keep quiet about it and stay super strong like yourself. But it's great to just be like, oh, I'm going through this as well, and you can help them through it, you know?
I've noticed, like, for the past couple of years, I've seen people put only the good things on social media. And I'm like, why? Why do we push ourselves to that extent? Why do we have to show people that, oh, we're living this good life, da 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 da? And I wanted to be different. I wanted to show them the good, not the bad, but the real, you know?
Yeah.
The good and the realness, the reality. So I
struggle.
present that, exactly, and the struggle. Like, nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy. So I wanted to portray that on social media to let people know that, hey, you are not alone. Don't be tricked by some person with a branded bag or something.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
We're all the same in the end. So I wanted to portray that as well.
I love it. And I feel like in your content, I know you show a lot of things about life and a lot of, you know, just lifestyle here. And it's generally amazing because I feel like people get to see absolutely everything. And they can say for themselves whether it's good or bad, but it's the real, you know, which I think is amazing. When you get these messages or when you relate to people on mental health, have you got people reach out to you and you've had chats with them and generally helped them through it?
I did. I've gotten someone who was going through depression, and they wanted to know, like, because I shared about my depression, they wanted to know, they were like, how did you overcome it? Like, how did you push yourself out? And I started to tell them, I'm like, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't easy. So I took them like step by step on how I did it and how I got myself out. And after 1 week, they messaged me saying, you really helped me a lot. I've managed to pull myself out, and I'm doing these daily tasks every day that you have given me, and it made me feel good. So I was very, very happy that my experience was able to help them.
No, like I think that's incredible because I don't think people realize this. Anyone watching that, mental health can seem like a big issue, and it is.
It is.
But it's the small little daily habits which add up can make a massive impact.
Yes.
And when yourself, I've been through hard times. When you're going through a hard time, you don't see the things the little things that make a difference. You just see the big horrible picture.
Yeah.
And clients that I work with, when you just go through the small basic things, they think, is that all I need to do? I'm like, just do that for this week and you'll see a difference. And then a week later, you focus on another couple of things and it generally stacks up. And then you're like, it's not fixed, but you see a much better outcome, you know?
Yes,
And I think that's great for anyone that is struggling through anything mentally or going through a hard time. Stop looking at the bigger picture and be like, right, what are just one or two things I can do now in just for this week or today to make a better outcome, and rather than thinking of the hard struggle, think of just one or two small things. I think that's some great things, and you've helped some great people.
Yes, I did. I was very happy with that. You know, always take it step by step. Even though you want the result right away, just take it step by step. That's how you start. That's how you start healing as well.
No, exactly. And everyone has hard times and everyone has hard things to go through. And, you know, I don't want to give advice to anyone that's gone through something harder than me, but, you know, we all do have struggles that we can always fight over. And you've done such a great job on social media to help people. So, all honesty, what are your goals with social media and things that you want to achieve?
Honestly, I just want to keep going with inspiring people, giving them laughter when they need it, giving them inspiration, giving them advice, tips in whatever field that I can manage myself into. That's like the main goal, and also grow and build a bigger and better community.
No, it's awesome. And like, I know you were just celebrating 20K, which is absolutely amazing.
I did, yes.
Yeah,
finally.
I think any milestone you hit, it's always great to hit that achievement.
Yes.
And I think, what is like one tip you would give to anyone out there to be like, want to do social media, any content, any way, any niche? What's one tip that you'd give just straight away?
Take your time. That's it. Just take your time. Don't rush yourself. I know you see other creators with this high following and you just want to be like them. Take your time. I promise what's meant for you is going to come for you. Just keep working hard. Take your time. And if you need a break, you deserve a break. Yes.
I do think people forget about that. I am someone that pushes to post every day, but some days you're like, I just need that time, you know. So I get it. And
Yes.
I'll be honest, as like a Niqabi woman speaking English, I don't see a lot of that, especially in
Yeah.
Saudi. Like you see Niqabi women posting Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, but it's all Arabic.
Yes.
So what made you go a bit of both, like, and definitely post in English as much? So what made you choose that route?
Well, Arabic is supposed to be my first language, technically, but I gained a lot of like non-Arab speaking community, and every time I do put Arabic, like when I speak Arabic, they're like, "Why don't you talk in English? We want to know what you're talking about." So I'm like, okay, in that case, I'll just transition into speaking English. And then I get Arab people saying, why are you not speaking your native
Yeah.
language? So I'm like, okay, I'll just do a little bit of both then,
Yeah.
just to handle the community, just to handle the views.
Yeah.
But I did get a lot of people saying, how did you get your English so well? Like, you sound like an American.
Yeah, you
I'm
do.
like,
Yeah.
well, I lived most of my life in America, so that's the whole reason.
So like you lived most of your life in America, you said.
I did, yes.
So how was that upbringing with like yourself and your religion and your culture being brought up there? How was that?
So I was with my family. My family are very strong with keeping the culture, keeping religion intact in us. So in America, I would go for Quran classes, which is reading the holy book. So every Friday, Saturday, we would meet up at the mosque with the girls and everything, and they would teach us the holy book. And that gained for me to learn not only how to read Arabic, but also to keep that religion still intact. Because I know there are some people, not all, some people, when they go to any foreign country, they start transitioning into being something that's not okay.
It's not part of them.
Yeah, it's not part of them, but they want to be. So for me, I didn't want to be like that. Like, yes, I still have that American culture, that American mindset, but I never forgotten my religion, my culture. I still kept it intact. And then coming here, I wanted to learn more about my culture, which was so beautiful. So I'm keeping that intact as well.
No, I love that. And for someone that, like, let's be honest, I'm from the UK, I'm from a Christian country compared to a Muslim country like Saudi. How was it being brought up in a, let's be honest, a Christian country, but still trying to keep your, Islamic culture and Islamic faith? Did you have a community, or did you just try and search for it a bit more? I know you have your parents, which is great, but what else did you have around you to allow that to be still a part of you?
So I actually have Christian friends. I have one friend that I grew up with when we were 12 years old. We're still friends despite our differences. We try to teach each other, and then we end up finding out how similar we are.
Yeah, there's massive.
And it's in a little bit of context, we're a little bit similar with the religion and the culture, but we didn't allow that to conflict within us. As long as you are a human and you're kind, that's it. That's all you need. And then majority of like my friend group were Muslims, so I still kept intact with that. Muslims from all over the world. I had friends from Eritrea, Sudan, Egypt, Pakistan, India. All of them were Muslim, and we would hang out whenever we can. Now we're all grown up and we're busy and we're all in our own lives, but we try our best to, connect when we can or whenever we visit each other.
No, I think it's awesome. And I think especially when you're in a country which isn't, let's be honest, Saudi and America are very different. The way they live, the way they do things, and that's fine. But it's really good that you still found a way for you to still embrace the culture and religion the way you wanted to, in the right way. I feel like that could have been a challenge, actually.
It was in the beginning until after. Once you start teaching someone about your own culture, own religion, you'll understand their viewpoint. And same goes the other way.
And I always remember, like, my friend that I mentioned earlier, she first had to start fasting, I think, 14, 15, and it was in July.
Ooh,
and it's in the UK, so it's long times. I remember her telling me, I was like, you're at lunch and you're not eating. I don't get it. What do you mean? Like, we're at lunch. Oh, I can't eat or drink. You can't drink either? Like, what? I was like, and there's a 15-year-old naive kid, even though we're, friends to this day, like, I was so confused. Like, what do you mean you can't? You can. It's right there. Like, I don't understand. But we weren't taught about Islam in school at all. To be honest, no other faith apart from Christianity. So obviously we don't have any clue, But it was like it was more of like opening my eyes to something different. And it's not like no one's accepting. Obviously, you get some people that are a bit like, oh, you're weird or things like that, but you just ignore them, right? Like, because you get that anywhere in the world, I think.
That's true, yeah.
And as like a Niqabi woman on social media, what would you advise other Niqabi women that want to get on social media that are a bit like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, I'm worried? Is there any advice you'd give to them?
Honestly, just be yourself. Don't look at other people like, oh, I want to be just like them. Don't think of it that way. Find your own creativity, find your own way, and just go through it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, there are many, many ways to put yourself out there, whether it's showing your face or not. There are many, many opportunities, especially now. There's a lot of opportunities where you can be expressive on social media.
No, I love it. I love it. So honestly, it's been a pleasure like meeting you and hearing about all your stories. What is something for yourself, like when you were younger and you know you were very embraced with your faith and your culture, even from a young age being in the States, what made you decide being like, okay, I want to be a Niqabi woman and I want to dress the way I want to dress? What made you make that decision yourself?
Well, I can tell you, like from the start, I wasn't like a Niqabi. I was very stubborn. I was a very stubborn child. And the reason why I started wearing it was because I was inspired by my own mother and also by my favorite content creator, Amy Rocco. You might know her.
I don't know actually, but it's
Oh,
okay.
you don't know her? Okay, she's like this wonderful comedian, content creator here in Saudi Arabia. Her name is Amy Rocco. And the way she embraces herself and the energy that she has presenting herself online just gave me that inspiration of why not I be her, you know, or be similar to her. And hopefully my dream is to meet her one day, just to tell her thank you. So she's also my inspiration. And the number one is my mother. My mother, she wears a niqab, even in the US. So seeing her hold that confidence, that crown, made me want to be like her. And it was a struggle at first. I would lose my niqab everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I get home and my mom's like, "Where's your niqab?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know that I had forgot it." It took a lot of years trying to get comfortable with it, but then I got used to it after a couple of years. So it does take time.
No, of course, and like I know I get it. And for all my British friends and English listeners out there, I want to ask you, because we don't understand. Like as a kid, we're not brought up to know women dress this way and the reason why. So why do you dress the way you dress? For your reasons.
You know, everybody can wear whatever they want, especially now. Whatever you're comfortable in, wear it, show it off, be creative, whatever floats your boat. For me, it's what I'm comfortable with. It's what I like. It's something that I've like gotten used to now. Like I wouldn't be able to go out without my niqab anymore. I'm like, no, I can't handle it. You know, it's just something that you've gotten used to after doing it for so many times and being repetitive with it and having it as like a routine. You get used to it. So that's what I would say, to be honest. But everybody's different, you know, especially in Saudi Arabia. There are some that don't show their face. Some of them show their face. Some of them don't show their hair. Some of them do. It's on the preference of them and what they like and what they feel comfortable with. You know, it's not like a obligation or anything. Like for me, it's a choice. Like I can take it off if I wanted to, but khalas, it's like I got used to it. I can't.
It's a part of who you are and it's part of your faith.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just gonna finish the video with some quick fire questions. You've got 5 seconds to answer.
Alrighty.
Let's see how it goes.
All right. Sounds good.
Favorite food?
Kebsa.
Favorite drink?
Coffee.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Oh, that's a nice one. Favorite country outside of Saudi?
Spain.
Favorite food outside of Saudi?
Pasta.
Favorite place to visit?
The beach. I love the beach.
Favorite celebrity?
Amy Rocco.
What is your favorite TV series?
Friends.
And what is your favorite hobby?
Content creation.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Honestly, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow Nouf on her amazing Instagram to be inspired with content in Saudi and all about mental health as well. So I absolutely love it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good luck, and hopefully we can get you again when you maybe reach 30 or even 50 or 100K on your Instagram.
Let's go. Yes, absolutely.
Subscribe and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.